Thank you, everyone. Now, I request the chairman of Ernakulam branch of ICAI, C. Joe Scheme, to deliver the welcome address.
Good evening, everyone. Most respected Founder Secretary and Past Chairman of the branch, CEO of ICAI, C. Venugopal, CEO, BCG, sir. Managing Committee members, Chairperson, Vice Chairperson Deepa, Professor Anand, Rudesh, Joby, Tony, Ashil, and Secretary Salim, Past Chairman Vivek Krishna Govind and Kusa, senior members and friends and students. A warm good evening to you once again. We are very happy today, many reasons. The managing committee is very happy today due to many reasons. The one is our Audit CP's seminars are getting completed today. What we have planned, 1 day seminar, 17, and after that we had many chain seminars. Today is the last session day of bank CP chain seminars. And more than that, today is we are very happy because our very eminent senior member and for and mentor for all of us here in Ernakulam branch, BCG sir is with us for giving a lecture on Sri Vaidyanath Aiyar, C. Vaidyanath Aiyar. And BCG sir is coming, I think after 2 years, he is coming to our branch. So that's the one reason we are happiness. It's enhance our happiness because we are seeing him after a long period of time. Even in other social platform like Rotary also, I have not seen him for the last 2 years. Exactly 2 years maybe because first of all, lockdown started in March, towards the March end, and today we are so 25th of March 20. So we are very, very grateful to come and grace this occasion. So, of course, the official proposal of vote of thanks will be by Salim. So today we have a lecture for Sri Vaidyanath Aiyar Memorial Lecture. When I send the message, some members also are asking, Vaidyanath Aiyar sir, which year he was the president. Some of the members asked me. So I would like to upon certain points on Vaidyanath Aiyar sir. He was the president of ICAI during the year 57, 58, and 58, 59. And up to 50th February 1958, he was the president. Then he died in August. Then he was instrumental to amend Section 5(3) of Chartered Accountants Act to provide that member in salaried employment, not holding certificate of practice, could also become fellow members of the institute. And he also was part of the administration of Students Association, transferring from the coaching board to the regional council. And in 1960, the ICAI Institute is Vaidyanath Aiyar Memorial Fund. And this memorial lecture was organized in all the 5 regional councils till last year. And during this year, the ICAI head office from ICAI New Delhi, they asked all the branches all over India to conduct lectures, Vaidyanath Aiyar lectures. So here today, we are along with our bank audit session by Vaidyanath sir on review of CVS controls, data extraction and analytics of reporting under LFR. We are having another lecture, the main topic, I must say, on the talk on CA profession, past, present and future by our VCT sir. I wholeheartedly welcome our VCT sir to this S. Vaidyanath Aiyar Memorial Lecture.
I request the chairperson, vice chairperson of Ernakulam branch, C. Deepa Varghese, Mr. Lavaki, respected chief guest CA VCT sir.
I also welcome Salim, our secretary, to this function, and I welcome all the managing committee members and past chairmen, senior members, friends in CA fraternity, and students and institute staff to this memorial lecture. So thank you once again. Yes, our Vaidyanath sir also here. I welcome Vaidyanath sir. Kindly come to the dais. Kindly join us on the dais.
I request our treasurer, CA Anand Aiyar, to present the flower bouquet to our speaker for today, CA Premnath Ji from Hyderabad. Thank you, sir.
And this this lecture meeting is planned in virtual mode. We have members joining us virtual platform too. So I welcome all of you on the WebEx platform to this S. Vaidyanath Aiyar. So thank you once again, all of you. Jai Hind, Jai IC.
Thank you, Joseph. Now I request our chief guest for today, Sri Venugopal C. Govind sir, founder secretary and past chairman, Ernakulam branch of ICAI, to inaugurate this function by lighting the lamp. I request all managing committee members to join the dais. Now I request our chief guest and beloved CVCG sir to deliver his inaugural address and the talk on CA profession, past, present, and future.
Good evening to all of you. Chairman. Yes. Let's with you all on a kind of like, yes, when you said getting out for a meeting of this that I mentioned. Yes. Thought I would start my rounds for the professional and other then maybe sometime after till of April, things are getting settled down. We have to be careful. The elders' age is catching up with us. We cannot forget. Mind may be young, but the body has to stand all that. But when Joe says his first request from Joe's, who is a very close friend of mine, that we have been together in other organizations like a lot of Rotary International. Because when he came to my house and said, "Sir, you have to up and then get this program going," I thought, for his first program, I cannot say no, so I am with you all. The topic is very dynamic. The topic is very challenging. The topic is exciting. Yesterday, you would all have read, see the business line, the front page, CA profession is going to be in distress. Government is going to recognize other institutions. There will be a separate institute to guide the accounting professions in the line of IIT and IIM. And other parallel competing institutions will also be licensed to allow accountants, public accountants to practice like we have in UK. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales, associated that Certified Chartered Accountants Association, allow that. And a host of such organizations in US also are all allowed. Practice the profession, public practice as all, and US is a certified public accountants. Every state has its own institute. So every state enrolls certified public accountants. There are a whole lot of institutions, bodies simultaneously running this CPA program. Many other private institutions also run CPA program. Here also we have in India so many organizations running CPA programs of US and sending the students for examinations there. They qualify with some little practical exposure here and there. They qualify. Australia has a similar position, and Canada also has. So many countries, advanced countries, allow. Japan has 4 or 5 institutes who allow public accountants. Why only one institute? Why this whole monopoly for professional chartered accountants? What is so big about chartered accountants? That is what government's panel thought. I will not find fault with it because various happenings which have happened in the last few years, but a person like Dan Sinha, a business consultant who has been in US, Yashwant Sinha's son, and was the state minister of finance. Government of India, highly knowledgeable person. He was the chairman of the panel. So when that panel recommended, I was a concerned. So yes, so we have thinking has already started at the highest level. Cannot all be left to the Institute of Chartered Accountants, which are premier accountancy body. Institute of Cost and Works accountants are also there, but they have chartered their own territory, cost accounting, management accounting, and all that. Mostly the cost audit practice and the practice of working as accountants, cost accountants, and all that. No way comparing to chartered accountants. So we have had for so many years, we have had a distinct monopoly upper hand as the premier body as far as the accountancy profession is concerned. I don't think there is anything wrong in that. The institute, we are just talking about that. 1963, when I passed my CA final examination, only 800 of us wrote. both groups together, and 27 of us passed first attempt, and 2 of us, only myself and Mrs. Vaidyanath. We passed, 2 of us passed from Kerala, just 2 of us. The other 25, about 10, 12 from South India, 13, 14 from North India. That's all. From that level, I was told today, see, in Ernakulam branch alone, 110 students were honored physically for having passed from. So therefore, the number has exponentially grown. Profession has also grown. Still, the pass percentage is about 10 or 12% only. And about 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs students are undergoing at different levels. Plus those who are preparing for foundation exam onwards. There are 700, 800 students preparing for chartered accountancy. There will be some amount of dilution of the course as we go ahead. And definitely, more number of students will qualify. If they don't pass in the first attempt, second or third attempt, somehow they will qualify. But there are so many facilities available now for training, coaching and all that. All that, out of these 8 lakhs or 9 lakhs that you find now, maybe in the 3, 4, 5 years, I would expect at least 50% to qualify. So you will have a scenario of 4 lakhs more coming into the profession, even in the course of the next 4 or 5 years. That kind of a growth is what we are looking at. But then one scenario is that in my time, 60s or in their time, we are the seniors at time, maybe some of them would have passed in their 80s, 90s and all that, seniors here. During their time also, to some extent, see, my time, for example, if 27 of us passed, almost 20 of us would be in practice. I got selected to 2 leading companies. In all of us, we get offers. All of us picked up. So we are 27, last month 27, I have 27, still the 27th time. So all in leading companies, those companies, Bata India or leading companies, all Calcutta based companies. We go to Calcutta for our final interview. I got selected for 2 companies, Hindustan Lever and the Metal Box, and chose Metal Box to join as a management trainee. For the person who joined in of us were elected. The person who joined along with me retired as chairman of Bata India. When I wanted to join, my senior said, "You are not going anywhere, you sit here, you cannot go anywhere, you sit down." So I was made to sit in Burma. So that way happened. We listened to them. Practice was also a challenging thing. Why do you want to go? The seniors will ask, why do you want to leave practice? No, don't go anywhere. This is what profession is all about. Yes. So the seniors also, okay, maybe good. But that scenario has changed. So 3, 4 years ago, we were looking at numbers. 94% of the students passing out, qualifying as chartered accountants, used to join industry. Some industry consulting on the only 6% used to participate. I remember one conference somewhere in Jabalpur or somewhere, North India. I remember Manohar and I were the panelists. And it was all same some subjects like Manohar made a statement then. He was the president at that time in the 90s. He said, what is happening? 94% are going for service. Only 6% are coming for practice. So what is going to happen? He was wailing about it. And I was also mentioning under the word where will profession go? Is our own people are not joining early. So that scenario is now slowly changing today, but even today, I think around 80, 82% are going for service. Maybe about 15, 18% may be taking to profession, various aspects of it. So this is where it is, and probably as time goes, and practice is getting expanded, so therefore more and more people might come to profession. This is one scenario. The second scenario is that industry is looking after them so very well. My partners the other day had a discussion with them. They said they are not getting chartered accountants to join them. Very difficult. Even Cochin, Burma is not yet chartered accountants to take in as employees or the assistant managers and all that. They pay 50, 60,000 rupees to start with, but no, they are not getting that. Youngsters are being absorbed at 80,000, 90,000 in various companies. Sure. So they looked at that. Our own students who have passed them, 2, 3 of them have joined in and around Cochin only for 80, 90,000. Federal Bank took one of our girls, 5 girls for 90,000 of them. 12 lakhs. Talk like that, 12 lakhs, 7 lakhs. The pressures I'm talking. So that challenge is there. So therefore, an attraction of good money, also working in places, many places, different environment and all that, that also drives youngsters to service. They don't think starting profession is very challenging. 2 years, in any case, was 3-4 years, as much trying hard work and also why should we come? We'll rather be well off there in that 4-5 years time. And these days, youngsters by about 30-35, they want to start get to the bracket of 25-30 lakhs of rupees. Juniors. And then maybe by the time they're 45-50, 70-80 lakhs of rupees and work up to 45-50, retire and do many things. And tendency is also there. We are also finding it very difficult. My junior partners in Burma, they stated start getting 55-30 lakhs for 5-10 years. By the time they're seniors, they're getting many times that. So it has, otherwise they won't remain. They will be interviewed. They are being interviewed. 32 partners here. Many of them youngsters below 40. I retired from the firm 3 years ago. We have 32 partners. And constantly they are being pulled. Every week someone or the other will get paid. Why must you are a business partner or your partner? We have got 3 classes. Business partner, senior partner. So they know it. Big Four have noted it. What is the categorization? What are their experience and all? They pick them up. They know what we how much here, around which year, what area our villages, our partners are also getting the company. Yes, 10 years. Whatever you are getting in Burma, will be 2 times 3 times. And whatever. Because they have some idea, they would ask them what you are getting. What you are getting, twice that, 3 times that. The youngsters will be, see, but then they put them in some department. It will not work with that much of independence and that kind of work that we give to them, that much of challenging assignments. Their professional qualities are not enhanced. So they get stagnated there, which they realize. Many of that accountants going to join Big Four, they approach us. They come and after 3-4 years, they say, sir, half the amount of really join. Please take us, we want to get out. We don't want to work with this anymore. They just they will not be taxation, the indirect taxes, all your life indirect taxes, GST only. But to retire, because the GST especially. Or you do some aspect of audit, you are in that only, you will never be allowed. What is happening in the profession outside and they are not exposed. They know nothing. They know nothing about the developments in other areas. You can't find food. That is a large number of them are being, because they are just employees. So they continue their grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, up to director. Doesn't mean anything. They realize that some point of time, who the yearning quest for knowledge, they leave. And wherever they can, time comes when you see, for salary doesn't matter. We have become chartered accountants not for doing clerical job, those for clerical job. They are really, they come say, please take me, we don't mind anything. They are willing to join in the next level. Maybe partners or what. Next level doesn't matter. 2 years, 3 years, we'll catch up. So we'll ask them, you have no idea about the direct taxes, you have no idea about internal, you have no idea of this, like you got it, bank audit. How will you do that? Hope up. We can't send you with our article class or artificial class may know much better than you. Doesn't matter, 2 years we'll make up. Somewhere they want to make a course correction. So these kinds of troubles are there. Even in the practicing segment also it is there. Stagnation, not growing and all that. People getting frustrated. Pressures, no doubt about that. But still, the practicing will say, once you decide to join, because all of you do this, once you decide to join, service, you are in service. And later on, wanting to come to practice will be difficult. 2-3 years you work somewhere as an accountant or something, some department, then you start all over as a practice accountant. You join Big Four or some other firm, you start very low. Okay, you have to do a lot of sacrifice, but those who are interested in practice, even have to go to practice straight away. First 2-3 years, we shall not bother. What will be the remuneration? Thereafter, I use the for you, depending upon everybody's competence. Even now, generally they say, what is the future profession? It is all one profession, is not like old days. Old days, taxation used to grow, opportunities in taxation, lot of unlimited opportunities in audit, everything. Everyone not started account. So we have all enjoyed life. Nowadays it used to be like absolutely it is like that. That is why we are celebrating an occasion like this Vaidyanath Aiyar Memorial. Relevance is that Vaidyanath Aiyar, K.S. Aiyar, V. Velugoria, G.P. Kapadia, they all belong. If you time when accountancy profession used to be the noblest of the noble profession. Respect that we used to get in the 60s, late 60s, much above that of legal profession, medical profession, any profession. No profession anywhere compared to respect of the profession of chartered accountants. That was created by them. That's why you can't best of qualified people are here, so carefully chosen, so well trained, founded on ethics, values, ethos, which no profession can ever even imagine anywhere near them. Not even 1% of it is straying away from the value system, ethics of the profession. So that used to be the there's built by people like RSP, G. Basu. We have not come across some of them. P. Kapadia was there, I met him after that, 60s, some other forums. They were all like that. Vaidyanath Aiyar also, I have not met him. So, but I qualified in 63, Vaidyanath passed away in 59. Yes, Vaidyanath Aiyar, K.S. Aiyar, father of Manishankar, is supposed to be the lawyer of accountant in India, starting from Calicut somewhere, he went to Calcutta, then to Bombay and all that, to practice. K.S. Aiyar, they are mere GDS. They are not passed any professional exams and all that. Some examination they passed, then registered accountants. There used to be GDA, government accountancy. There used to be an RSA, restricted state accountants. Every state has to be RSA. And RSA also you can practice. So they all started as RSA, then they matured into GDAs. 349 institute was formed, they were all GDAs with a license to practice from the British government. We see in India, we have private independence. So that license they used to practice and knowledge, but they were hugely respected. They built up the accountancy profession, Batliwala, who wrote the accounting book and all that. Such eminent accountants had laid down the foundation for the profession from those days onwards. Then the second story, next generation came. G.P. Kapadia is not belonging to that. He was young, he was president for the first 3 years. 49 Institute of Chartered Accountants was formed. 49, 50, 50, 51, 51, 54. 3 years continuously he was the president. Nobody else will ever think of taking up the presidency, but there's so much respect. Because he belonged to that group and then joined. But then he came to this generation also. This generation consists of people like S. Vaidyanath Aiyar, G.K. Kapadia. I would remember G. Basu, N.R. Modi, S. Vish, S. Vaidyanath Aiyar, 56, 57, 57, 58. Unfortunately, he was asked to continue for second year. Vaidyanath Aiyar is a bundle of knowledge. His passion for a profession was so much. He died very young. Yes, he was now his second year. He was requested to do a second term. Chokshi, C.C. Chokshi was to become president. He said, sir, no, sir, please continue. I'll wait for one more year. So C.C. Chokshi gave way for Vaidyanath Aiyar, and Vaidyanath continued as president. Halfway through, he passed. Heart problem or something at a very young age. Vaidyanath Aiyar has contributed so much, organized all, everything you see in the professional was all Vaidyanath Aiyar's idea. Students, he was so much given to the students' movement, professionalizing the examination setup, all the contribution, as is even as a council member in the first council, was in the second council, president in the second council, all from his contribution in upgrading the profession and bringing it to global standards. That is why Vaidyanath Aiyar is so much respected. The only person in whose name the institute conducts memorial lectures for many years now. I would have myself addressed at least 2-3 memorial lectures for S. Vaidyanath Aiyar in old days. One in SIRC, one in, I remember, Salem or somewhere, one in Coimbatore. Different forums used to organize. So he's so much respected and valued. That is Vaidyanath Aiyar. That is why we have this memorial lecture series. When we talk about Vaidyanath Aiyar, it is ultimate. It is the doyen, if you say, G.P. Kapadia, we say father of the profession in India. He was the president for the first 3 years, and he worked so very hard and all that. Good, very good. Vaidyanath Aiyar, because of the real contribution to the profession, Vaidyanath Aiyar is respected. So I'm very happy to memorize him and talk on his memory too. So this tradition we are continuing. Subsequently, those came also The second generation, I would say also people like, C.C. Chokshi. C.C. Chokshi took over from Vaidyanath, yeah. 58, 59 as C.C. Chokshi. We had C.S. Shastri. We had S.D. Dondi. We had Hari Bhakti. We had R. Venkateshan. They're all very, very eminent chartered accountants. You can't think of them. We had Brahmaya. Brahmaya would maybe belong to the last of them. So when I joined 64, 65, Brahmaya was full figure. Andhra gentleman, Garu, we used to call him Brahmaya Garu. Way he comes in 6 feet, just not a personality. Every one of us will automatically, who is he look at him, Brahmaya. He used to be P. Brahmaya from Andhra Pradesh. Brahmaya Garu, he used to be known. That such people were behind the institute who built up the profession, completely giving up selfless contribution to the profession. We had Dr. R.C. Cooper also, 64, 65. After I joined the profession, the next year he had come to Cochin, somewhere where he was president. Our Dr. R.C. Cooper, for 2 years, he was there in the company. He decided to do it. He thought a lot of things. He was so knowledgeable person. Right person, R.C. Interesting personality. Suddenly he decided I'm going to full set practice left. So that is a big void. So those were the real giants of the profession to build up, and the whole focus was on it. The profession consists of essentially auditing. I would say 40-50% is audit work, but combining that is the taxation work. Cities and all that big firms would have had an auditing work, and in smaller firms, middle-sized firms like ours, Verma and Verma here, Fraser and Ross in Madras or RJ Price and Company. Some of us, Bhaskar Rao, Company. We would be having some amount of corporate audits and all that, but barring that, the next level, so we would be considered then as medium level, not top level. One can never say that we are the top level. Top level still consists of A. Ferguson and Company, with people like J.K. Anderson and R.K. Khanna, and all that. R.K. Khanna later became president. He was a senior partner of that. A. Ferguson and Company, what is used to Bombay 3-4 offices. Some 200, 300 chartered accountants in the old days. A. Ferguson and Company means number one. See in India, no one anywhere near that. Next is S.D. Billy and Company with Malagam. S.D. Malagam, we were all together. We were batchmates. He must be 83, 84, 79, 80. And Malagam and the next line came up like that. And but they are top firms. C.C. Chokshi and Company, Malagam and Company, Billy and Company, A. Ferguson and Company. 3, 4, 5 firms, big, they were controlling. Sharpen and Tannen and all that Calcutta based, they were controlling 60, 70, 80% of professional work. We would not have even handled the large work like that. So many times we have got a Fraser and Ross in the south. Fraser and Ross grew up very fast. Fraser and Ross, 2 Britishmen started the work. They left, and then Venkateshan and Shriram Krishnan became partners, seniors, they took over, and they developed. Then Srinivasa much later. So Fraser and Ross also came to that lead. They were the top firms in India who were doing all major audits. Some of us will do million services. They will have audits. We had Maya ourselves, Arjun Price. Arjun Price is started by Price, who was originally partner of Fraser and Ross. He took away, he started doing practice. And Venkateshan's brother, Shriram Krishnan, I forgot his name. His brother left to Fraser and Ross and joined Arjun Price. And they developed the Arjun Price, or Narayanamurthy's uncle. His uncle used to be that gentleman who joined Price and Company. So that level of firm started, and we had, some of us had this kind of audit and all the rest of them, 50, 80, 85% of the chartered accountants, these who corporate tax, income tax and income tax. Some of us started practicing 1921 Act. It was 1961 Act that has come. And some of us qualified 63 at Road was 1961 Act that has come. Assessments are not happening in 1963. 1921 Act was completed. So we had to pay for appeals and all that under the 1951 Act. We used to have Income Tax Act 1922, Tax 1958, Wealth Tax 1955. We used to have Super Profits Tax, we used to have Expenditure Tax, we used to have Estate Duty, all these. All these flourishing, quite comfortable. All these flourishing, all these assessments, hearing and assessments only. And in all the cases, they will make some additional runs. So you have a lot of appeals. So a lot of assessment, every case is the 142. You got to appear, go personally appear. Now assessment is closed without control. Howsoever small it may be. And income tax officers used to be lions. They're very strict and very smart and very aggressive also. They will not leave anything. So we have to be very careful. You appear before income tax officer, very big case, you have to be extremely careful. And the folks so much to get an assessment. Because even if you make 10,000 rupees addition, a big sum then. They would only offer an assessment for 50,000, 20,000, big sum. And those times chartered accountant salary used to be 600. You all joined up 600. So if the salary is 600, you join. And you see, returns about 15,000, 18,000 income. ITO making an additional 10,000 rupees is huge amount. No? So you got to go every state. And then you don't stop at the CAT appeals also. CAT appeals will all give some part, okay, all that all. They are not bold enough to give all this. They are all things or something as they could have done. They won't take that because they are a partial. Then everything is what right. When I started practice, the tribunal used to be in Chennai. So I had to appear before Chennai bench. As the first chartered accountant who started appearing before the Chennai bench from Kerala. Later on, Vaidyanath Aiyar and the ICAI John from what time also joined me. Started because then we used to only, we were afraid to go to tribunal. When I went to the Madras bench, there was only one bench. Madras bench, only one bench in Madras. It was Ansari, Sadhugopacharya. Ansari, who became Chief Justice later of Bombay. Sadhugopacharya was chartered accountant. Point of a chartered accountant, hugely knowledgeable. Tribunals used to be very strict. So something you miss here and there, no adjournment will be given, no time will be given to. We got to submit elaborate paper books and all that. Everything should be documented in the paper. If something is missing in the paper, we say sorry, I'm producing. No, it is closed. The case is closed. Next. So that's how the proceedings used to be. So we all used to engage leading lawyers, P.S. Venkateswaran, R. Venkatraman, Ramamani. So those kind of eminent lawyers we used to engage, give them cases on our behalf. We'll sit in the background of the press. So we start. Very chartered accountant used to be do. All chartered in Madras also. Now Bombay also those days. Chartered accountants never used to appear before tribunals. They were never. They're afraid of them. Some of us started and we started, lawyer can do like that. We'll start for small cases. I also started everything started. After 2-3 years, the bench came here. 67, 68, 69 also we going to make the group and now the first bench, and the bench was flooded with appeals. And every day in my practice, in active practice, 1965 to 2000, will be my active tax practice. Then we due to consulting, auditing, and all the major cases, very major. 5 or 5. Okay. My partners were all trained and they used to appear for tribunal. But during the period from 1965 to say 2040 years, I would have appeared for some 20,000 tribunal cases easily. That were the number of cases that every day we used to have 7, 8, 9 cases. Whole of Wednesday only for reference. 30, 40 reference. You got to be there. 13 is 10:30, you got to be waiting for 13, 14 cases a day. They finish all that for one seat. So imagine how many cases they will be. Afternoon also they will see. One sitting will finish. The disposals were fast. Number of cases we have. So okay, when you are getting fast disposal, all of us will buy. Let it go to tribunal. Every department will say, go to tribunal. You go and argue for the tribunal. We will also say we'll go to tribunal. And we'll say, we'll immediately go to job. And that used to. Along with that, used to have sales tax practice. Sales tax tribunal is also very practice also used to be very lucrative, very troublesome, tiresome. Huge additions in sales tax cases, sales tax officers used to be cantankerous. Excise duty, we have to go customs duty and all that. So we were all tax practitioners substantially. That was the profit, but that is all gone. See, my partners today, very unfortunately, those who have been trained by me in the 90s and all that. 1995, 96, 94, they trained by me to be experts in, at least 2 of them I have trained to be experts in tax, the corporate tax and non-corporate, but tribunal appeals. They are hardly getting one appeal to appeal in a month. No appeals. There is no appeals. They have faceless assessments and all that, but disposed of, doesn't go far away and all that. It has come to that. So tax practice has slowly gone away. Conventional tax practice is gone. But now we have to go ahead. We have to go ahead, whatever it is that the past is past. Now, huge challenges are there. What is the present scenario? The present scenario, as I said, is that chartered accountants are doing all kinds of successful chartered accountants. So you cannot say I'll do only this. They will do statutory audit, internal audit is a good field. They've got to be expert in internal audit. There are accounting standards, internal accounting paper, 2000 and odd accounting standards started coming. 1, 2, 3, 4. I remember first we all used to speak about accounting standards. Only 10 accounting standards used to be there originally. I would have taken some 100 seminars on this 10 accounting standard up to fixed assets. That was all that was promulgated. Nobody knew what is the accounting standard, what is all about, how do you apply, implement it. So going all over India, running around 2, 3, 4 years. Then slowly, accounting standards got more 35, 40K. And accounting standards became accounting standards under the Companies Act rules 2006. Then it became a matter for everyone to know, work on, practice, report with reference to accounting standards, compliance and all that. Audit scenario is changed. 1956 audit also made a lot of responsibility changes in the auditing. 1961 income tax audit act also dramatically changed the whole scenario. So the practice became very difficult, important, valuable. Nobody can simply go and get away with all that. We've got really knowledge. Question evolved like that. So today we have reached a stage where we have got accounting standards for the statutory accounting. It has now become into Ind AS. We almost merged with IFRS. 97% or 96% IFRS compliant is our accounting standards. Globally integrated. We have completely become globalized as far as accounting practices are concerned. Accountings are all now on technology based. Cloud technology, digitization have all taken over. Cloud technology is what is ruling now. So we have got to be today, chartered accountants, young or old, or whatever age you are, we have got to be absolutely knowledgeable, at least as regards application of cloud technology and its importance. And various systems, ERP systems, which are all developed. So technology application is very important one side. We have got to be digitally competent. Audit is being done digitally. Accounting is also being digitally. Accountants are no more accountants now. Those who are working in accounting firms or in business firms also, they're not merely accountants. They are advisors now. They are advisors who are working on the digital technology and are digital analysts. That is what finance managers, active finance managers are more digital analysts who are interpreting, analyzing data, who are making projections, forecasting, everything based on technology-based data. Data comes up in such volumes. Unimaginable data is available to the account. We are going to take decisions, communicate to business solutions. Appropriate tool is required to analyze what to apply, when to apply, how to apply. And added to the mere technological explosion is what has happened because of automation on one side. Accounting practices are entirely automated everywhere. Automation is not merely technology, it's a different field altogether. You have got to adjust to the automated process of handling accounts. Auditing also in an automated technology-based environment. And top of that, you have got artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is neither technology pure nor automation. It is a field itself now. You would have heard many conferences, hospitals, going and talking to us, making chartered accountants updated about that. We have to know about it. Otherwise, you are useless. Absolutely useless. So what artificial intelligence, particularly areas like blockchain, machine learning, mixed reality, so these are all become on our doors now. You have to apply all of them. Day to day, we see all our companies have moved into that. Banks have moved into that. Unless you know about all that, you will not be able to do anything. So you have got to be actually listen to, learn as much as possible. Even one little small knowledge is enough. Whether you are joining industry, whether you are continuing in practicing profession or entering practicing profession, these three things are absolutely essential for today's scenario. The divide between the practicing accountant and the working accountant is also getting narrower and narrower. He sits there and he controls the entire organization. He gives all the advice as a finance manager, as the head of the organization. He defines policies. He advises the management on business solutions. He decides what technology, what tools to be applied. He has to be so much current and updated with all this. Nobody else knows as much as he knows. That is the responsibility as a finance man and his team in an organization. Equally so here. Here a practicing accountant also, instead we advise only one, but we have to advise several. We have to advise all our clients how to digitize, how to move into automation, how to move into most modern other technological applications on the accounting side and all that. How accounting standards have to upgrade. You also become an advisor, you become a digital analyst as a practicing accountant. You also spend a lot of time on consulting. Business consulting and business solutions is your responsibility as a practicing accountant. Even in a tax audit, you have to do that. You may be doing only tax audit work, but you find all kinds of shortcomings, deficiencies. You have to advise all your clients how to address those deficiencies and get over that and become up-to-date model how information is available. This is the business is about information. Information is about data. Data is about all these the resources and the tools that they have. They don't have appropriate tools, and all that they go wrong. They are not even aware of what is happening world outside. So only you know it. As practicing accountants, you have got to have all the knowledge. How many clients you may have? You may have maybe 10 clients. You have got to advise all the 10, maybe 100 also you have to advise, whether it is small or big. And the role of a practicing chartered accountant has dramatically changed now. Your responsibility is to make sure that no client of yours fails in business. Nobody is, we did not have to do all that in our days. May not be necessary. They are only okay. We will prepare some family settlements. We will prepare partnership deeds for them. We will prepare partition deeds for them. We will advise them who to be appointed. This. Certain things we will advise them. Old days. That is enough. Business they will do. It's not our responsibility to advise you how to do business, what to do business, what product to do, how to do the profit planning, how to enter what kind of market, what marketing technique, what digital marketing, what accounting, tools and all. We don't have to. Maybe they, whatever is available, they will do that. But today, you have to do it. They don't know that you have to do it. He doesn't have that kind of a knowledge. You have to go on, advise all. Otherwise, he goes out of competition. He is no more required anywhere. The businessman becomes redundant, obsolete. Because you are obsolete, he becomes obsolete. Client also becomes obsolete. So therefore, you have to update yourself and make your client ensure first that no client fails. See the warning signals first. That's why we talk about risk assessment, risk obliteration, risk mitigation. These are different area of field altogether. This used to be there already, but it is all now put in proper shape before you to know. So you have got to be masters in risk assessment and risk advertisement, advice and all. See that this kind of risk is going to come 3 years from now. Signals. You have the skepticism, professional skepticism. Without that, you have alert your client. You be careful. You won't be. You will be wiped off in 2 years. I tell you, he will market, he will not stay. You better do this. I'm not an expert in that, but I'm advising you go to the best expert, get knowledge necessary, but correct now. That you have to go to. That you are doing tax audit, internal audit, statutory audit, as a practitioner to ensure it doesn't fail. And those who are wanting to grow, you see, he's a small scale, minor scale, medium scale, tiny scale. He will remain like that all his life. Because he's the independent victim. I got from grandparents. I'm happy with that. No. He has opportunity to grow. You know, several of such businesses which have come, traditional business, old business, established business which has been inherited and ordered, they have suddenly become global businesses. Young fellows have come in there. Their sons would have gone to Wharton and Stanford and Harvard and the Carnegie Mellon and all that. They have known modern techniques or they have seen the world and all that. They would have entered the business and they would have transformed. As you see, we got and all that. They have the sons to the business and the father to the business is very different. When the father came to us, you see, first for advice, he was a businessman and only 100 crores. He was quite satisfied with it. We had to, this is not enough for you. This is not how you should produce your product. You are outsourcing your product, giving to all small groups, and women are being engaged, and they are producing what is, you give them the technology, they make the stabilizer for you, you buy and you market, and you have got 100 crores, you remain that like that. Next year, 110, third year, 120. You don't have a single factory of yours, but your product has value. The technology has value. So you corporatize in a big way, you professionalize, you establish your own factories, you go into scale. We will set you a target 500 crores from 3 years from now, 1,000 crores from say 8 years from now. You can achieve that. So you motivate that fellow will not sleep for 10 years, 10 days. You will start okay. You see now, these two youngsters have been all trained abroad and they have learned new management techniques. One is looking after Wonderla, the other is looking after V-Guard Industries. V-Guard Industries has a turnover of 3,000, 4,000. V-Guard and also has a turnover of 1,800, 2,000. His whole share value, his own family share value is worth about 8,000-9,000 crores. He has 4,000 crores shares for himself. He put 2,000 crores in his charitable foundation for charity. He has spent 2,000 crores. Each of his sons, look at that. And he is himself hardly 65, 66. See how technology, modern day will transform business. Ordinary small business in a place like Cochin is not like heights now. That is how all the businesses grow. Any businessman can grow. That's where you find potential for the product or for the person. To advise your client, you see the potential. He will not see that. You have to see in them and advise him to grow in the right manner. With all the risk also, you don't put him in the water. You tell him something and he jump into the water and he will sink tomorrow. So you advise him properly and he grows, and you watch his growth also. Don't go away from all the time. So this is what the scenario now is. Only such persons who can give all-round advice to the business people, who has the knowledge of technology, who has the knowledge of taxation, who has knowledge of business methodology, business system, business processes, business decisions, how taken and all that. Only such chartered accountants will thrive and grow, and their clients also will grow, then you have no problem. The client who gives you 5,000 rupees now, 5 years from now, if his turnover is 10 times above, he's not going to give you 50,000, he's going to give you 10 lakhs. Anything you ask, he will give you. So your one client will give you 5,000 now, in 5 years now, he will give you 10 lakhs rupees. It has value for him. Your advice has that value for him. This is how you need to transform, and that is the future of the profession also. So by doing so, you will come to know what you should be, what are your capabilities, what you can contribute to an organization. So we are business advisors, we are business supporters of business, we are facilitators of business, and the country has not grown. The country is still far behind. The opportunity is so much in India. In no other country in the world, you have so much of opportunity. In Kerala itself, we always tell these mugheads in government, we tell them, people are grown some 100 times. If only you had realistic policy, you have such people here in this state. One Kuchosar, well, 30 years ago, Kuchosar's turnover was only 10 lakhs. He used to go in a Mundu and in a bicycle or in a motorcycle and sell his product. That gentleman, when he was 32, 33, selling like that, today he can have 100 BMWs or Borghini or what you think that you can have aircrafts. You are finding people buying aircrafts in Kerala. So that is the limit, see, which the businessman can grow if they understand and 5% audience. Today, unfortunately, a lot of people are going around masquerading as consultants, international consultants, global consultants. 90% of them do know nothing about this. They will take something from here and there and that, get based and all that, they give some advice and disappear. They don't know how to implement it. So all these are what is going on. We would not like to comment on them. I know for personal experience, I have been sitting on the boards of several companies, bigger companies, medium-sized companies, government companies, public companies, foreign companies, and I have seen, you see how these fellows have taken away what we will do for 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs. They will claim 5 crores, 10 crores. Take the money and go disappear, and they'll put finally everything is put in the waste paper basket. Years would have been lost also. So therefore, I kind of people would no chartered accountant, really good chartered accountant will never think of doing anything for the sake of money. Never professionally our own value system. What we tell our client, honestly, we believe this is what is good for. That is all the chartered accountant for us. I think I'll stop with that, giving you a challenge. The whole field is so open. The knowledge is very essential. Knowledge is essential. Competency is essential. Of course, competition is another field that is coming up in various ways, but the real good one, there's a lot of space in the top. There's a lot of fight going on in the top. In the bottom, there is no space in the bottom. So many people are playing in the bottom. You have no space in the middle. Okay, reasonably good ones can thrive, but in the top, this is a total vacancy. Total vacancy in any profession for that matter. The accountancy profession, all the more, real knowledgeable, people who can be called highly competent, confident, self-confident, and capable of advising businesses to achieve limitless growth. Hold their hand, which is very essential. Ensure that the business will not fail. That kind of knowledgeable professionals are pretty much lagging. So the youngsters particularly have a lot of opportunities to strive to achieve that. So honestly, we believe that profession has certainly, profession may change. Let competitive, whatever was that about, quacks may come and compete with it. Let them form Indian Institute of Accounting or any institute they will form. What will they produce? They will produce people like MBAs and all that. Let them come. Can they match chartered accountants in terms of knowledge, experience, expertise, skills, experience, and all that? Never. We must note about that. We should raise our profession to that level. Then the profession will certainly remain. Maybe not exactly in this form. It may change. How we could say some presence and all, past presence, everyone talk to me also, very young fellows and all that, we are all sometimes when we talk to us, what do you see? How do you see? If you say, how do you look at the profession? Is going through this? I would say perhaps there is a time for bifurcation. You must have a separate branch of the institute, and the institute itself for training professional accountants who are required for business, industry, service with that kind of a knowledge. Jambu's idea who became recently FM of Reliance Group. His knowledge as far as corporate experience, corporate accounting and all went at a very high level. So train people like that, you may have a separate institute, separate methodology system, process, everything. And for those who have to be trained for profession, that requires much more added importance. And that should be a different, maybe an institute or a sub-branch of the institute. So two things must separately go, and nobody can question. You are very good at that, you are very good at that. Get best brains possible. International people also can come and train. You can have academies to train our people, hands-on training, what we are doing in the branches and all that can be professionally, systematically given training. All that is possible over a period of time. So let us hope, especially for the sake of so many youngsters are sitting here, would assure them there's nothing to be bothered about, but not to be number one candidate. Anywhere achieve excellence should be the quality, excellence standards. You cannot sacrifice that. Do not prepare yourself, you'll be left out of it. But if you hold enough, committed and all that, work for that, with full earnestness and all that, nothing can stop you. Future is so very bright. That positive note, I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, VCT sir, for taking us to the evolution of our profession, the past, present, and future. Now I request CA Sudeep Zakaria to present a memento to our very beloved VCT sir. Thank you, sir. With that, we conclude our first session. And now we move on to our second technical session on the topic review of CBS controls, data extraction and analytics for reporting under LFAR. Our second technical session on the topic review of CBS controls, data extraction and analytics for reporting under LFAR by our faculty, CA Prernath Ji from Hyderabad. CA Prernath Ji is a fellow member of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. He is qualified DISA and completed his FAFP course and certificate course on concurrent audit and indirect tax certificate course. He has completed his Bachelor of Commerce from Sri Venkateswara University, Tirupati, Andhra Pradesh in the year 1987. He is presently a partner with Mr. C. Ramachandran and Co. Chartered Accountant, Hyderabad. He has been a regular speaker at various training programs at ICAI since the year 2000. He's a speaker on e-filing, XML, XBRL, audit under CBS, and he's a faculty of ICAI for concurrent audit certification course, faculty for ICAI GSC certification course, and trainer for faculty development program with the ICAI. He's a visiting faculty with the Income Tax Department, GST, Central and State Government, Hyderabad, GST Fraud Analytics, CMAG Staff Training, Hyderabad. He's a visiting faculty at National Institute of Rural Development on tools and techniques of internal audit, Central Vigilance Offices on digital forensics. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our second faculty, CA Vaidyanath D. Now we shall commence our second technical session on the topic review of CBS controls, data extracting, analytics for reporting under LFAR by our faculty, CA Prernath Ji from Hyderabad. I request the faculty to commence the second session.
As proper give answer. Privilege be a part of the eminent personality model. I've never read that part. Basically, most eminent speakers are part of this lecture. And Vaidyanath Aiyar. Thank those for fantastic job. So let's go on. Let's come on to this important session in the bank audit. Why I said most important bank audit? Because of the internal control, because of internal financial control that has been made a part of audit. And that's a great change, and that's a golden opportunity to explore this and retain the branch audits for years to come. I strongly feel there is enough content to be reported. The internal branch report. Lot of stories to be reported in internal branch control. Reason is banks themselves are saying that we have weak internal controls and that is exploited by borrowers. And to this extent, the reports are available in the public. Let us look at the banking industry as a whole. Banking industry as a whole channelizes money, and that money comes from GDP. And that GDP today in India is 233 lakh crores. That's what Vaidyanathan sir was saying. We have to grow. There is huge potential. Prime Minister Modi is saying that the Indian GDP will grow 500 lakh crores by the next 2 years or time. That's the potential. So if that is the potential, why do we bother about the yesterday's news item that IIA, Indian Institute of Accounting, will take over? Nothing will. IIA and IIM, they are all more of business oriented than a judicial or a business advisor than an auditor. We have very strong controls, knowledge of very strong control. No one can beat us in control. Because right from the day one of enrolling as an article student, I as an article student try to exploit the control weakness in the company and try to take more conveyance and more food expense. That's how I'm reading. I hope in a lighter way I'm saying. We know the control weakness and we tell them that these are all the control weaknesses. But can an IIA or IIM or IIT understand this? Because they are never part of Like an article student is a part and parcel of business right from the outside level. And this is a huge knowledge. Why do we need to bother about someone taking over our profession? Nothing like that. And I encourage any number of like Venugopal sir, one day, let us encourage hundreds and hundreds of pounds if we have it coming.
So this kind of Guru Shishya Parampara kind of articleship and principle kind of a knowledge sharing doesn't happen anywhere in the world. So as long as that is there, we are protected. Coming back to the banking industry, I said out of 233 lakh crores of GDP that is generated, 200 lakh crores, around 200 lakh crores is going around in the banking. And out of that, 182 lakh crores is the credit that is given to the borrowers. And out of that 182 lakh crores, 13 to 14 lakh crores, 13 to 14 lakh crores is an NPA. And this is only declared. Undeclared is huge. Now you may say that the NPAs are made as daily marking. So all these years it is an NPA nuisance. Because of that, we were getting in audits. So once the NPAs are automated on a system driven on a daily basis marking, now what is the avenues for the chartered accountants? Nothing to worry. Because there are 29 states has 29 SLBC, state level bankers committee. They are dictating their own terms to the banks with regard to the agriculture loan consideration of benefits. And how will you combine that into a CBS 29 into n number of combinations you need to bring it into the CBS? It can never happen. Take it for granted. And where it has to be a manual intervention at any point of time. That is where the control weakness is. It is what we need to highlight, exploit, take it as a challenge, report it. We'll get n number of years, the branch audit. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about whether we get the branch audits in the future or not. It all depends upon how we report it in the days to come. Now the banking frauds is 3 lakh crores. Banking frauds is amounting to 3 lakh crores, which are only declared. Now undeclared, last year, just a moment. Yeah. This is what I am trying to. The CBI FIR database, CBI FIR database. And you can see there are already 139 cases filed in this calendar year. And all these things are not of banking frauds. And even yesterday I've demonstrated it. There is one case on 23rd, which is filed in Hyderabad, relates to the banking, meaning I can also demonstrate about the previous year. These are all previous year. You can just see here 3,636 cases were filed in the CBI FIR. Out of this, 1,500 cases related to banking frauds alone. So what? So what is, if we can take out that cases like this case, the banker himself is saying the management of borrower entity took advantage of the fact that the maker and checker concept was not in place and there were some negligence on the part of the branch officials. So what am I saying here? I'm saying here that there is fact that the maker and checker concept was not in place. This maker and checker is not in place in Punjab National Bank Nirav Modi case. 14,000 crores evaporated overnight. Don't we know this? And it was going on for 14 years. And we should thank Nirav Modi, because after Nirav Modi only I came to know there is a concept called maker and checker. In a lighter way, I say. And all the newspapers started talking about, it seems, auditing standards. SWIFT was not integrated. Auditing standards were not followed there. Internal controls were not followed there. These are all the words used in the nook and corner in vernacular language newspapers. Point is, I'm saying even today, sir, even today, this is going on. And you can see the way in which bankers are taking us for a ride. IFC, Internal Financial Controlling. This is a kind of report they ask us to sign. I've hidden the bank name here, being a confidentiality. And I made a point while signing it. We have completed our audit and submitted our report on 10th April 2021. As per the instructions from RO, this document is shared by the branch manager after completion of audit. Accordingly, we are unable to comment on most of the issues relating to daily operations and financial reports. And this is the strategy they adopt. When I have signed this on 29th of April, meaning after I have completed it, they have taken their own time. It is their strategy, I think so. And to send it to me on the last day. And that too, they said, sir, your bill is pending because of this certificate. No, you sign it. No, for the sake of bill, I will jump and then sign whatever nonsense they give it. You know what they have said? For all these questions, they said, yes, yes, yes. This is followed, this is followed. Let me show you. For deposits kind, KYC documents, sub-processes, collection. Look at the way in which they have designed this. When they are bombarding us, they are asking us to sign whatever they give it. And we are simply signing it, sorry to say. They're not raising any questions, and that's the reason why the branch audits have come to a dead end now. And now we need to open that. Now I'm saying here collection of KYC document, they say sub-process. What is the control activity? Checklist is maintained as per RBI stated so and so and verified by the staff. If this is a case, then in the branch audit, sir, this is last year, and you have a circular from the RBI, master circular, dating it back to 2012 or 13. They said there can't be a uniform, there can't be a multiple customer IDs. If multiple customer IDs are there, you will be penalized. All banks have said, yes, we have cleaned. But look at this. Look at this case. And one among them is NPA account. Even today it is happening. That's what I'm saying. Now, how can he say yes, 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 come on, get it signed? Now, we have made it very clear due to limited audit time and server issues while we were working, we have not verified the same in Pinnacle. I express my inability to express a comment on that. And look at here. This is a case. Cash balance was not tallying. What controls are missing there? The controls missing there are maker and checker. It's not a system driven. But what is that we are told? What is that we are told the moment we go, sir? 100% computerization, total computerization. Is it total computerization? Look at this process here. This is an agri-gold processing. Agri-gold processing has 15 steps. And this 15 steps is noted down here right from the process, right from the application to the dead end of it. 15 steps are there in it. And each and every step they said this is a legend used for this dabba or legend or diagram in which matter is written is used for to say that this is a manual process. Look at pre-scrutiny is manual process, gold appraiser manual process, gold loan valuation is manual process, sanctioning is manual process, creation of account is manual process, recovery fee is manual process. Gold ornament, anything kept in fireproof is a manual process. The moment you have a gold ornament and whether this ornament is placed into it, can you use a technology there? Yes, you can use a technology because of the IoT. Today, I hope you understand the prawns which are cultivated in one particular area. The Japanese says, if one particular area cultivated prawns, I will buy it. They are ensuring how that particular prawns are cultivated by linking it to an IoT and blockchain. Now, is that the kind of technology that the banks are having to ensure that the loan, the ornaments which are used for, which are pledged, is identified, or the same kept in the locker? No. How do you say? This is a case. This is a CBI case, which the branch management itself is saying. Multiple gold loans were availed by 246 members and 319 accounts of 669 lakhs. Gold bags were missing. Why? Because it is a manual process. Out of that 15 processes, you can see only one process is CBS driven. And how do you say it is total computerization? And how dare I, as a chartered accountant, sign for everything? Yes, 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 yes. And this is prompting the regulators to tell you yourself as accepting lakhs of 1 lakh of chartered accountants have accepted that there is nothing in the banking. Then why do you need an audit? I hope I'm able to communicate the way in which banks are running. I'm taking you to the way in which banks themselves are saying, yes, we are very bad. You can say here, we are very bad. The bank was so negligent. Why? It says there are red flags. Bank is saying there are red flags. Bank is saying, further bank is saying here, see, further bank is saying, a concurrent auditor failed to reconcile. And they are putting the blame on the concurrent auditors. And they have not stopped here. There are some more cases in the 1,500 FIRs. There are some cases where they have blamed even the statutory branch auditors. That they have a pressure. Now, coming here. Now see this. Internal control weakness that allowed the misappropriation. But I'm linking again and again to this IFC. I am again and again linking to the IFC. Look at the way in which this is structured. First of all, this is not the format in which IFC has to be signed. What is IFC? In what format it has to be? It has to be in this, format. It is called as risk control matrix. It is called as risk control matrix. Like debit and credit. The moment I say debit, there is a credit. The moment someone says there is a risk, there should be a control. If debit is there or credit is not there and vice versa, then the balance sheet doesn't tally. In the same way, if there is a risk and there is no control, and that's going to be a disaster. And that's where we come in. And that's where we are strong enough. And that's where IIA cannot enter into. And that we have to prove it again and again in the coming branch audits by filling as many stories as possible. And where is the stories? Stories are given in 1,500 cases. Stories are there. Sorry, you are SBI. You have SBI cases in this. There are more than 70 or 80 SBI FIR cases are there. Out of that, I have taken. Let me just check. I think I myself have taken. Because this is online, I don't know how to go back to the folder, but it's okay. Now, I myself have taken 50 cases because whenever I have a time, I go there and make it as a database to see that what control weaknesses are going. You name a bank, you find at least 50 to 60 cases because out of 1,500, your Punjab National Bank cases are there. Why I'm mentioning so banks is you will understand how the bank is working. What are all the control weaknesses in that particular bank? I know. You borrow the same story, fill it in the IFC. Why should we say yes, 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 and blindly sign it? Okay, come back again here. What I'm saying is this format itself is wrong. Now, how it has to be? How it has to be is, it has to be a risk control matrix. I said debit and credit, risk and control go together. If debit and credit doesn't go together, there is an issue in tallying the balance sheet or accounting. If risk and control doesn't go together, that itself is a big issue. Okay. What is this risk control matrix in internal financial controls? At every process, first identify the risk. Now, receipt of application along with documents, first process. What is the risk in this first process? They write here. They are writing process, sub-processes, collection, sourcing a client. In that sourcing a client, first process is collection of data. Did you write this? Yes, collection of data. Now, what is the risk in this collection of data? Incomplete, inadequate, incorrect documentation received from applicants during the sourcing. Is it possible? Bank is saying, yes, this is possible. Has it happened? It has happened in this case, where signatures of the borrower were not taken, photographs were not taken, KYC not adhered to, signatures were not taken. Is this happening? Happening. Why is it happening? Because it is not a preventive, technical preventive or system preventive control. It's not system preventive control. What happens with ICAI when they are conducting a certificate course online while writing an exam? They ask us to see the camera. When we are sitting behind the camera, they automatically take our photograph and the same photograph is taken into the application. whether such kind of systems are there in the banking where, why are you asking 2 photographs? Why don't you ask him to stand before the system there? Like when you are trying to enter into an RBI or some other organization, they focus, like when you're checking into a hotel, he will focus it and take your photograph and link that with your Aadhaar number. Counter verify it. Now, why such preventive control system driven things are not there? Why maker and checker things are going on? As long as maker and checker things are going on, the bank itself is saying, yes, they are exploiting it. They have exploited me. You say here, they have exploited. And we are talking about how much? 200 lakh crores of credit. And when it becomes 500 lakh crores of GDP, what kind of credit will increase? Otherwise, banks will collapse if they don't continue to give loans. Okay. Now again, I'm just taking you to the agrigold over here. So I'm saying, what is the risk? Incomplete and accurate. Is it happening? It is happening. So if this happens, how does it look like? It looks like unavailability of the required document. Is it happened? Yes, we have seen KYC was not taken, signatures were not taken, DP note was not there, negligence of officials. If risk happens, if risk will looks like this, is bank saying, yes, bank has recognized it's a risk, it's a casual factor. So how do you control that risk from here onwards? It is risk control. How do you control? This is all about risk. This is all about control. Now, how do you control this risk? With following documents. What are the documents? You should obtain manually gold loan, DP note manual, witness manual, copy of arrangement manual, 2 photographs manual, memorandum is for manual, proof of agriculture is manual, customer details manual. Manual is maker and checker. Maker and checker, they are not following. So first control the control itself. Now what bank is saying about this control? The bank is saying about this control, this is a manual. Why should it be manual? Now what are the other things? It is saying there are certain controls which are automated. There are certain controls which are partially automated. Okay, let us see. There are so many. I said there are 15 types of controls are there. Out of that 15 controls, let us see how many are automated. Let us see how many are automated. I am selecting here, deselect all, select only automated, and only one control out of 15 or only one is automated and rest of it is all manual. Manual means maker and checker. And that's how the bank, I'm just talking about, because of paucity of time, I'm just taking one control. So what is risk control matrix? Number one, at every stage, we need to ask first question, at this stage, is there a possibility of committing error? Number one. Number two, if this error occurs, whether that error will impact material misstatement. What is material misstatement? Material misstatement means something is overstated, something is understated. For example, if you have a duplicate customer IDs, if one account becomes bad, the other account will automatically not become bad because it has, one person has 2 customer IDs. So one customer ID becomes bad, another customer ID will not be automatically linked. So loans are overstated, profit is overstated, provision is understated, loss is understated, resulting in material misstatement. Material misstatement means something is over or understated. Material misstated means it is not a true and fair. Now, first question is there a possibility of committing an error here? Yes. If such error happens, is there an impact on the profit and loss account? If so, what are the controls? These are the three important things. At every stage, we need to ask this question. Come back to this first thing we said. First thing we said, bank has said here that this is the risk, and these are all manual controls. And how control will work, they have explained control. Now comes here financial reporting risk. This is what is material misstatement. If an error in collecting a proper document occurs, will that affect the balance sheet? If it is an inaccurate, incomplete, incorrect documents are collected, sir, whether that will affect the P&L, whether that will affect the financial reporting, yes or no? Yes, but look at bank is saying not applicable. And this is how the statement is given to the auditors and we're asked to sign. And I'm talking about 15 risks. And there are certain risks never quantified by the bank at all. They have not come into this risk at all. They have never identified a risk at all. For those risks, bank has identified. They are saying, yes, this is a risk I have identified. This is a control I have. And for that control, for majority of them, they say not applicable. You can see here, not applicable, not applicable, not applicable. And this is how the internal financial control reporting went on in the last year. And I would request the members to put on heavy weight on this risk control matrix and try to fill as much stories as possible from the circumstances available at the branch. And I'm damn sure you will find so many circumstances. Remember, whatever you write in LFR has to be linked to this IFC. If you're writing something, comments in the IFC, the same comments has to go into LFR also. And you're writing something in MOC, you don't write in LFR, you don't write in IFC, then that reporting itself is contradictory. And the higher authorities at the top may say, sir, if that is so, either the MOC is wrong or IFC is wrong or LFR is wrong. Now, why should we contradict our own reports? So this is what we need to understand from the IFC as whether this IFC is very new since last year. I say no. It is there since many years, but there is a special reporting now. But how do I say that it is there since many years? We are saying here, as a part of what I am trying to demonstrate here is audit report format SA 700. And in this we are saying here, sir, in this we are saying here, we identify and assess the risk of material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. Are we doing this? Yes, we are doing here. As a risk control matrix, we are doing it here. I'm saying I'm doing this. Coming back again. Accordingly, I'll find out risk control matrix. I'm saying this, and if I'll also design and perform audit procedures in response to those risks. Now there is a risk here. What is the risk? Incomplete, inaccurate documents are there. It is possible that the bank system can source inaccurate, and there are cases here. I have understood that there is a risk. Now I should design an audit procedure in response to those risks, in response to these risks, and obtain an audit evidence to provide a basis of opinion. What is the basis of opinion? Here I am saying for the IFC. Here for IFC I am saying yes, 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 yes. For yes, basis of, what is the basis of opinion for yes? What is the audit opinion, audit evidence that I have obtained for yes? What is the audit procedure did I perform for yes? How did I say it is yes? These are the questions that the regulators are asking the chartered accountant today when something goes wrong. That is called as documentation. I'll come back to that documentation again. But now, where I have started is, I have started at this place. I have started with 3 lakh crores is a banking fraud, which shows that there is huge potential of internal control weaknesses. And I've talked about several cases that are being filed by the same banks complaining against themselves that we are weak here, we are weak here, we are exploited, we are exploited. And on the other side, we the chartered accountants are saying nothing wrong is going on. Everything is true and fair. Take it for granted. Okay. Now this is where we have started and then taken into that. And then I again say the Supreme Court judgment in Amrapali has blasted the banks openly in the open court. Observed that no monitoring was done. End use of funds were foregone. Term loan facilities, no technical requirements. Banks used as a mute spectator. All these things are going on. And we have just now seen that the maker and checker is exploited. End use of funds were not followed. This is what again it says here. You can see here bank is saying end use of funds, close monitoring of these things were not done. Strictly stipulated for end use, but they have not done it. They themselves are accepting it. But how can I say that the end use of funds is complied when it comes to the IFC? Somewhere in advances they say whether the end use of funds were here. Data entry in advances, and again you find somewhere here in whether end use of funds have been done. We are saying yes. Again, so what I'm saying here is, now what about the IS audit? Now you said totally computerized. Banks are 100%. The word they use is total computerization. The IS audit has to say that. You look at the IS audit experiences. The IS audit experiences is there is no end-to-end testing of interfaces. What is interfaces? Like Tally you have accounting. In another package you have fixed assets accounting. In another package you have inventory. In another package you have sales. In another package you have HR. In another package you have GST. Another package you have ETDS. Whether all that is coming together, we know very well how much we struggle when multiple packages are used by the client. We know how much we struggle because they are not automatically integrated. Now banks also have 12 to 13 softwares. One software for treasury management, one software for HR. Is it so? No, SBI bank audit, bank report itself, you can read, you will understand. The way the auditors have qualified it, in the not qualified, the way the auditors have stated in key audit matters. Key audit matters. You can see the key audit matters, what auditors have said. Identification and performing non-performing so-and-so should have a proper mechanism. The bank accounts or all transactions are IT systems, that is called core banking, which also identifies advances as performing and non-performing. Further, NPA classification is done by another IT system. So what? They are saying the carrying value of these advances net of provision may be materially misstated. Maybe. I'm saying it is not maybe. 2019 and 20, 13,380 crores worth of NPAs were understated by SBI. 45,000 crores were understated by the PSU banks. Is it maybe? No, it has happened. So what the branches, what the central auditor is saying now here, he is saying reliance is also placed on the audit of other statutory auditors, branch auditors, whom we have made a specific communication. And what are we saying here? Yes, 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 yes. Everything is perfect. Going back again to, so let us see where this interfaces are missing. And we are saying configuration controls are very bad. What is configuration control? Let us see here. This is also a recent case. I think you can identify something wrong in this. What is something wrong in this? You find K Radha, an account with one customer ID, and there is an account called Radha K, another customer ID. And there is one more customer ID for Radha Suresh Kamath. This is the customer ID. The joke is that this K Radha, Radha Suresh Kamath, and Radha K are one and same. And that's not the big issue. The big issue is this Radha K is a staff, bank staff. To this extent, the controls are weak. To this extent, the control weaknesses are going on in the total computerized branch. Why? Because the controls at the time of creating name is not preventive. They put a PAN number and the system takes a name, they verify it. Is that the case? You can see here what IFC is saying here for KYC. What is he saying? Branch official signs and stamps verified with original. Now, why should you do this? You put a PAN number in the DIN creation of MCA PDF, you write the name, you type the PAN number, it will automatically flash the name and says the name as per PAN and the name what you have typed in the DIN doesn't match. No question of creating DIN for you. Is it a manual or a system? System. But what management is saying here? He says, I am physically verifying a document. I am entering here. I am stamping here. Now what happens because of this? This is what happens. Further to this, again, it says here, you can see in this, it is saying here, once the process is over, I am asking a question, whether the client is having a CIF, a client is a borrower, is an agriculture, is a laborer, is an uneducated. So you ask him what is CIF, can he tell? He tell, मुझे कुछ भी नहीं मालूम है. मुझे तो लोन दे दीजिए पहले. If the banker knows that yes, he has already, then he will link that to the CIF. If he doesn't know, SBI of one village, he is there and he goes to the another village of SBI. How will this branch manager know that he is already there? And earlier, like say earlier, this farmer was having an account in Andhra Bank, and now he is going to the Union Bank because both are merged. He only knows Andhra Bank. He doesn't know Union Bank and Andhra Bank got merged. The farmer doesn't know. And he says, do you have an account in Union? This fellow will ask, do you have an account in Union Bank? He says, no. In my village, no. Dusra bank tha mera village mein, gaon mein. Oh, okay, create one more ID. Yes, this is what? Yes, sir, this is what? And this is what, sir? And I have signed it last time. Last year, sir. Seeing is believing. I have signed it. Because people think that I'm cooking up some stories. No, seeing is believing. No, I'm just saying in a lighter way. Because sir? Sorry, sir? Yeah. But here this is, yeah, that's true. But all this is in one branch. Last time I've done one branch in Nellore. That's where this has come up. How this is coming up is, this K. Radha is employee. You know, here we have seen this staff, right? She was getting transferred over a period of 20 years. She was getting transferred from one branch to the another, to the another, to the another, to the another. Whenever she is getting transferred in the new branch, she may take a new deposit. She may take a new loan. So whenever a new loan is created, this is getting affected. Do you have a safe? This is bypassed. Like in Tally, what happens, sir? I hope you all use Tally. Conveyance under, if I say fixed assets, it will take. If I say unsecured loans, it will take. And then it will come and ask whether this account has a PAN number. What will I say? Control A, skip, and account is created. Am I right, sir? That's what I am saying here, sir. That configuration controls are missing. Like, you know, when we are filling the ITR 1 to 7 at PAN number, you don't fill a PAN number, it says it will not move on to the next. But whether you have that mandatory fields, certain things it says, you know, when I have imported the form 26 content into it, when I'm trying to file, it says, hey, stop. Have you checked that very well? Have you ensured it? At every place, like the utility, tax utility is stopping you. The taxman is stopping you. The genius is stopping you. No, why can't such kind of controls are made into this? Because it is 3 lakh crores are getting evaporated. It's not 1 crore, 2 crores. Now, can't you spend, you know, IIM Bangalore, I think 2008, 2018 IIM Bangalore, you can Google, you will know. 23 pages of report is made by IIM Bangalore on the banking frauds. They said, array banks, you spend few crores of rupees on preventive controls. Bank has said, we don't have such an authority. We are tied up. How much you spend? 4,000 crores you have given to Infosys. We are all struggling every day. We are advising that Infosys fellow. And because of that, the state government taxes got delayed because thanks to the Infosys fellow. Today that Infosys has again started spoiling the ROC by bifurcating it to LLP. And we are not able to file anything in LLP. Now, why can't you give 500 crores of a software to all the banks to stop this 3 lakh crores getting evaporated with controls? Or sir, I have tried yesterday, few days back, a group of chartered accountants were talking. On 15th of March, one of the client was not able to pay taxes. He had an issue in filing the tax returns. and he has gone to the tax, the ITR tax utility, department tax utility has gone and he has changed some figures and uploaded. It has gone away with tax due, where tax due originally is showing nil now, return gone away, filed. The same return was taken into Computax and tried to process. The Computax has never allowed to save this file because Computax is having more robust controls. It's saying, no, you have done something there, you can't do this. You have done something there, you can't do this. Look at the Computax kind of robustness and look at the Infosys kind of things. You know, why can't you have, that is what IIM Bangalore is saying, you spend few crores and give all the banks because everything is integrated now. Whether the sir? Yeah, I'm saying that is not there. You know, one client was telling me I was not able to pay taxes. For 10 crores of tax I have to pay. I paid only 1 crore. You know what he has done? Rest of the 9 entries, the same challan number he has typed 9 times. So total has become 10 crores. Return has gone. Sir, this is what I am saying, sir. This is what I am saying. We are best in the controls. Who will understand this? Why do we need to bother about IIM and these? I suppose this and IITs know them. Okay, be that as it is, I'm just deviating. The point I'm saying is there are configuration issues. What configuration issues? When a name is there, when name is already existing, the system should say with artificial intelligence or whatever you say. When the name field is there, date of birth is there, father name is there, photo. Today, sir, you take a photograph and search in Google, it says these photos are matching already. Earlier, we are only checking the text. Now, the Google is saying that this photograph is same. Where is robustness in this? That is an opportunity for you and I in IFC. Why do we need to say yes, 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 no, all right? Coming back again. So one issue is, as I have pointed out, there are issues in this which is creating multiple IDs. So how do I check? I have understood now. Sir, I have understood there is a big issue in this. So how do I track that now? What is that I am saying in the audit report? In this audit report, I am saying here, in this audit report, I am saying, I am identifying and assessing the risk, where I am identifying and assessing the risk here. Number one, I am doing it. Then whether due to fraud or error, there can be a error or fraud for creating multiple IDs. Intentionally, I'll tell the branch manager, skip re bhaiya. I know, we have seen, no? IOB themselves saying, we have maker and checker, banker, borrower has exploited me. Borrower will say, "Arey, chhod do yaar. You give me the Aadhaar." No, last time you have done PAN number. No. My name as per PAN is Rohit Kumar Singh. Now I am giving you Aadhaar number. In this, it is Rohit Singh. You create, give me a new loan, take that loan, give it into the CC account. Otherwise, your CC account will become bad. Or you will be prosecuted. He is debt trapped. Alright, theek hai, kar dun. I have seen there is an error, weakness here. Identify the risk, either fraud or error. Now design a procedure for audit procedure. Design an audit procedure. What is the audit procedure you need to design? Let us go to that place. I am designing an audit procedure here. I am designing. This is an audit, design an audit procedure. Obtain the customer master, both loans and deposits. If they give a customer master, well and good. If they don't give a customer master, take all the loans. Take OD's loan balancing file you take, wherein you have customer ID, name, customer ID, account number, and name. Then CCOD file, customer number, account number, and name. Then take deposit file, wherein you have a customer ID, name, and account number. Take all those things into one place. And that's what we have done here. And create it as a table and apply fuzzy lookup. Observe most similar names, perform KYC, and report. How this will be there? Well, let me just take you. I'm just taking only the names to find out. Control C. I'm taking into the another sheet for easy working. Now I said make it Control L, created a table. Now going to fuzzy lookup. This fuzzy lookup can be downloaded from the internet. Fuzzy lookup. Now between this table, within this same table, you compare with the same names with at least two names and say, okay. Now see here in the same name, there is the same name Abhinandan Gulecha, and in the same database there is a name called Gulecha Abhinandan. Like what? Like K Radha and Radha K. If you sort all the names, you don't get this. Because within the names, within the database, there is a name called, say, for example, ABCD, and there is another name called BCAD. It is something like Radha K and K Radha. Now, when you run this fuzzy lookup, it has thrown all those content which has all the names with the same name, same alphabets or same content. It has thrown it one after another. And you can see many names which are very similar to that. Now what you have to do? What is that it's saying here? Step 1, obtain customer master. Step 2, paste one below another. Create Control L. Apply fuzzy lookup. We have applied. Then observe most similar names. K Geeta and K Radha and Radha K. Most similar. Then what? Observe most. Perform KYC document check. So manually collect the KYC document for this, KYC document for this, KYC document for this. Maybe it is PAN, maybe Aadhaar, maybe passport number, maybe driving license. Look whether the photographs are same, date is same, date of birth is same, address is same, phone number is same, email ID is same, father's name is same. Check that. This process is for reporting under LFAR. Where do we report this? We report this in LFAR. Let me just take the LFR. So in this LFAR, where do we report this? Control F, KYC. Whether the branch has adequate systems and processes as required to ensure adherence to KYC. What should I write here? I say yes, the branch has a system. If I say branch has a system, now what is the audit procedure did I perform to say here it is yes? What is the audit procedure? What is the system of assessing the risk I have done to say yes here? What is the audit procedure did I perform here to say yes? What is the evidence that I have obtained to say yes here? The yes here is my opinion. The no is my opinion. Not applicable is my opinion. For that opinion, what is the perform audit procedure? What is the audit evidence? What is the risk assessment? They should be there at every time when I write something. This is what today regulator is asking. And this is how NEFRA has gone behind the big four, EY, Deloitte, KPMG. And I hope those reports are available in the public domain today. And this is how they have gone behind them. They've asked, you have stated something now. How did you come to this conclusion? They've asked, you have stated in your report that you have assessed the risk. While filling this, what is the risk in this? Have you identified? Now to identify what is the audit procedure you have done? What is the evidence did you obtain? Why this opinion alone on the ILFS case of 1 lakh crores? And this is how the NEFRA has gone behind them. And mind it, after NEFRA has opened up the way in which they have done it, ICAI DC proceedings have strengthened too much now. And the same procedures ICAI DC mechanism has started now. And I'm worried now. After NEFRA, after DC, now CBI, Sir, CBI has enrolled competent chartered accountants in their floor in New Delhi. And everything you have, they send it to the chartered accountant, and chartered accountant, an eminent chartered accountant is interviewing the chartered accountant's certificates. They're asking, how did you do this? And that's how the things are going on. And I say, before I say yes or no, I need to understand what I am saying here. Coming back again to this place here, to the working what we have done here. Okay, this is one nuisance of where are we now? We are here understanding the controls, configuration controls. Come back again. Now, another biggest risk is among all the 1,500 and odd CBI fraud cases and all the 3 lakh crores of banking fraud cases, the only one thread that connects all the 3 lakh crores is related party. Do you agree, sir? Diversion of funds will go where, sir? Diversion of funds will ultimately reach to the major promoter. And how do I identify major promoter? You and I and everyone knows that if I have a common shareholding, these fellows are able to track my common shareholding. So what are they doing? They are trying to split the shareholding in such a way they bypass the income tax of 20%, 5%, or whatever percentages that the GST and Income Tax and Companies Act is saying about the related party. They're able to split it and bypass it. So, but they can't bypass one thing. However you bypass it, there will be one control weakness among there. They can't bypass it. One is common addresses, common email ID, common phone number. Look at this database. I have all the names with phone numbers. So taking the Pivot table. Pivot table, I'm just taking out. So I say which is critical here is phone number is critical. Email ID can be critical. Common phone number is critical. Common ID, common email ID is critical. Common address is critical. Common father name is critical. Common database may be critical. Common date of birth may be critical. Common PAN number may be critical. So whatever is critical, pull that first here and take the name next. Then take the name here to count how many. Now you see here, there are 185 accounts tagged to one phone number. And we have just now seen Abhinandan Gulecha and Gulecha Abhinandan having multiple customer IDs. Now, this may not be intentional or unavoidable in the banking. It is most common because the customer might be there in the bank since years. So there are 114 accounts with one customer account. Why? Because this account is there since ages. So number of FDs he might have taken. Number of RDs he might have taken it. So this is not unusual. But most unusual here is one number for many accounts. One phone number, one account, more accounts, not an issue. One phone number for all this. Maybe this is you can just see here again. 87 accounts with so many, one phone number. This can be a lead for Binami also. Okay, be that. So, okay, if is this a risk? Are you identifying this as a risk? If yes, what procedures will you follow now? What procedures I have to follow now is obtain the related party bank account. What is related? Common phone number, common address, whatever commonalities are there. You take all those account copies of all these people for 1 year, paste one below another. After tagging each row, because you are pasting one below another. So when I sort it may lose its identity. So before it loses its identity, I want to tag each row with whose account is this, because I am clubbing 85 accounts together. 85 into 20 or 30 rows. When I club it, jumbled it, when I want to put it back to the reality, it may not come back again. So what do I need to do? I need to tag it with each and every account number. I have done it. Now after that, sort on the days to observe the round tripping. Sort on not account number, but on date wise. So I have sorted it out on date wise. Let me sort on date wise, oldest to new. Here. Now you can see here on 3rd of April, 776, 25 lakhs is gone to 776 account, 776 account, 25 lakhs has come on the 3rd. And you can see this date stamp also. What is this date and time stamp? You can see in the teller. Any entry, you will have a date stamp and a time stamp. And this has happened around 12 noon. And 12 o'clock noon or 12:01 or 12:02, this 25 lakhs gone into this account. And within 2 minutes, cash is withdrawn. And within another 1 minute, cash is deposited back into another account. And now they will start accounting it as something else. And is this round tripping going on? Going on. Do we need to report? LFAR. Where do you now need to report? Round tripping of funds. Where is it? Fraud. Now there is a question. Frauds detected, classified, confirmation, etc., etc. Do you write yes here? If you have to write yes here, because of this process, is there a fraud or error? If so, did you create any audit procedure? Did you obtain audit evidence? To give an opinion of yes or no, what is the audit opinion? What is the procedure? What is the risk you have done? At every stage of 122 lines of LFAR it is. At every stage of comment in LFAR to say yes or no, what is the audit procedure? What is the risk assessment? What is the audit opinion? What is the evidence did you gather to say yes, no, all right. This is the documentation which is going to protect the chartered accountant in future. I'll come back how to make a documentation after this. So what am I saying here? So I'm saying this is the procedure I have followed, and this is the risk assessment I have done. This is the risk assessment I have done. Now here it says group. Now when you have here so many parties are getting when there is so many parties getting here, it's a risk. Now, why you have said it is a group? Now, what is preventing you from linking all those related parties into this group? No, and that's what I'm saying here. Configuration issues, validation issues, mandatory check fields, not done in IS audit. And it is for us to highlight. Come back again. So coming back here, this is not filled in. If this is filled in, the branch, the bank, this is what I'm saying. The IIM Bangalore is saying, modernize your CBS. Put on these controls. You can plug in the 3 lakh crores. This is how that the 3 lakh crores have vanished because you have not controlled it. A simple check. Just make it mandatory. From your own database, you know how many cell phones are connected to how many accounts. Plug it. The moment one account to another account amount is moving, you know that because through a common telephone number now, common address now, stop it. Ask for, give me the end use funds. Then you take back your cash. Because that is manual again. Come back. So like this, this is only one sheet. This is only one screen that we are talking about. On 2 fields we are talking about. There are 18 such fields. Sorry, 18 such screens to be rolled for creating one bank account. For creating bank account, 18 screens. So much of information needs to be filled. Why so much of information? Because so many acts are there. If he is an NRI, FEMA is applicable. Money laundering, anti-money laundering rules are applicable. GST may be applicable. Income tax may be applicable. Then so many acts are applicable on the banking. They have to comply with. If they have to comply with, they have to create this robustness. They have created it. But these are not made as mandatory. And if you don't get the information from here, how do you make a report, management information report? And this management report, information report enables you to take a quick and quality decisions wrong capture of information, garbage in and garbage out, wrong capture of information, wrong MIS report, wrong decision making. And such decision making auditors are made to sign true and fair. Now, do we need to report anywhere about this? Come back to LFR again. Management information system. Whether the branch has proper systems and procedures to ensure data integrity related to all data inputs which are used for MIS at corporate level. What do I say here? Yes. If I say yes, what is the audit procedure? What is the audit evidence for this opinion of yes? If I say no, what is the audit procedure? What is the audit evidence? To say no. To say not applicable, what is the audit evidence? What is the audit procedure? This is what I say you need to have. And this is not making anything mandatory here, beneficial ownership. Okay, this may not be applicable because he is an individual. If he is an individual, he is not a beneficial owner anywhere. You are not filling, make it as 0000 here now. Like in your ITR 1 to 7, you don't fill some comments, they will automatically fill it as 0. Now, who can talk about this? Only chartered accountant can talk about this, not IIA, IIT, IIM. This is what we need to highlight and take it to the knowledge of many chartered accountants. There are 1 lakh chartered accountants who are doing bank audit for next 1 month. This is a golden opportunity to showcase our strength now with uniform language. Tell the total regulators that we need chartered accountants are needed for this country. And that's all there with us. And there is a lot to be covered, many more things to be covered. I think I'll stop here with one. I said I'll talk about the documentation. The moment we get audit appointment, let us celebrate Onam on that day one more time, Diwali one more time, Holi one more time, because we don't know in the days to come we'll get branch audits or not. After that, send them immediately audit engagement letter, binding them with so many clauses. Because it is a contract, you need to bind them with a contract. Bind them saying that array access at all times to all information, including electronic records you need to provide. You need to provide relating to frauds and all. Or you don't provide this. Now, how do you expect me to say here in this fraud? How do you expect me to say here, yes, no, all right, without you providing me a data here? Now, in spite of you asking about this, he is not giving anything. Make that point here. We have communicated the requirement to report here through our audit engagement letter. Banker has not provided any information. We are unable to express our opinion here. Put a disclaimer. We have audit reports, SA 700, 701, 702, 705. Let us use all those arms and ammunitions here. Come back again. Then, because I have to carry out an audit, I need this much of information. How much of information? All this information he has to provide me. Now, all this information I have tracked it here as a Now I'm saying here, this is 96 pieces of information. This is 96 pieces of information, what I am asking here. Now, why am I asking 96 pieces of information? I am not mad. I am linking every piece of information to what LFAR. If I have to comment on LFAR 7A, unless you provide me this, I can't do it. Like that, you have to sign 38 certificates you have to sign. You have to write nonsense in IFC. You have to write something else in Goshen Jilani committee. How do you write all that without an evidence, without an audit procedure? So I am asking all this information. You give me. Now you allocate a chartered accountant for it or for your resource. You collect it. You comment it. You take the reply. You take the reply through an audit note. And this audit note is SA 265 format. This is me and this is the banker. I'm saying this is my query. You answer in this. Once you answer into this, I'll reply to that. I'll decide whether it is a significant audit matter or not. What is significant audit matter? All the observations in your bank audit will boil down to 12 such significant issues, and track all those 12 such significant issues into this. Each and every comment you tag it to significant issue. Then whether it is impacting your LFAR, link it to that particular LFAR and collect sufficient appropriate evidence as an annexure. If this reporting has an impact on MOC or LFAR or IFC or Goshen Jilani committee or the 38 other reports, link it here. All this is called as integrated audit working papers. Here you are going to have your team size. So you may be thinking that I'm just doing all cinema. It looks like a Rajnikant movie or Mammootty movie. No, it is practical. It is practical. I'm demonstrating that we have followed it. This is what I'm saying. This is the integrated audit. You can see here 14th April was in. It is updated. This is the control sheet. Which auditor has done it, which day we have started, which day we have completed it. And this is the content. This is a quick checklist. These are all the processes I have to carry out in the bank audit. And who has done it, who has verified it. Team size. How many man days we have done it. And so on. This is a branch information and etc. 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 And this is hooked to five people. And this is all in a Google Sheet. Today, technology enables to work together. Unless we do all these things, that's what Venugopal sir was talking about. We need to use technology today. And these technologies are not costly. This is free of cost. Google Sheet is free. And after 5-6 years, some CBI official says that you have done a branch audit in Ernakulam. There is a fraud in that branch. What is your working? Everything is there in play. I'll just patch up this and then send it to the CBI New Delhi, telling that look at my procedures. This is my audit procedure. This is my risk assessment. This is my sampling. This is my evidence. In all these things, this has not come up. And this is the information he has provided. This is the information he has not provided. I have reported here that information is not provided. I am out of the risk in one shot. But if I start searching for my working papers after 7 years, अरे वो working paper किधर है? अरे ये किधर है? वो किधर है? Who has done it? Where is that man? अरे he has left India, sir. He got employment in US. Where is that working paper? That partner itself is not today. Because today is partner, tomorrow we don't know. Am I right, sir? This is the way in which we are running. Okay. So there are so many other things in this, but the time is not permitting me to go on into it. But however, I'll share this Excel and I'll share the presentation, which has all those audit procedures to be followed. I have noted down here. Now, is it a system driven? How is it reliable? I think Venugopal sir was only talking about these things. Even today, It cannot be a system-driven NPA. Okay. Thank you very much for your patient listening.
I request secretary in total August percent last week about the CPI market. Thank you, sir. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
PSLE team, secretary, Governor Block, Secretary, propose vote of thanks.
We can have it easily.
For Delhi. We had lot of idea, technical aspect of. Thank you so much. Vaidyanath.
Thank you.
We informative about the past and future from our guru and better to most of us. But all of them see open side. Thank you so much for the wonderful and the informative. I thank my managing committee members and the those of us. My senior members for another today's session. Chairman, who took initiative for the session. Thank you.
Thanks for with that, we will do next year. What is not very important lecture. All yes, members are pleased to join us.
Those can help. I can. Stop sharing.